You think there's cocaine in that pool?
Maybe.
What if we OD?
We'll keep an ear out. I'll listen for him, you listen for him, and you listen to me on episode 344 of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Retro systems online. Reflux capacitor fluxing. Scanning movie space-time for Cocoon, 1985. Rewinding in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, Rewinders and new listeners, to the Retro Rewind podcast, where we take a fresh look at movies and games from 15 or more years ago. I'm your captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz, and I'm joined by your XO and mine, Paul, the PaulJPowers.com, maybe an alien Powers.
All right, everyone, sing along. When your blood sugar's really high and your nerves are really fried, diabetes. Diabetes.
Wow, Paul. Okay. Also, for this diabetes,
I was just about to say, that's serious. Make sure you keep it in check.
Fair,
serious stuff there.
Very fair. Also, for this discussion of Wilford Brimley the film Cocoon, we welcome back aboard historian officer of the pod, David Bobo Bobke. Hey, Bobo.
Hello. Special shout out to everyone watching us live who thought they're starting late. This must be a Bobo episode. So.
We were late even before you got on because we were having other wave room difficulties. So it's not just, it's everyone. Everyone is to blame except for me. I'm not to blame.
We didn't want you to get all the credit, Bobo. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Wave room antics.
Try to cause chaos, and this is what I get.
Well, in addition to the Chaos Master himself, we welcome also back to the pod ship's clergy, Kirk Plaisance. Hey, Kirk.
Well, I just want to thank Bobo for making me look good for my sound bottom. So there you go.
I'm super excited about this recording because it's St. Patrick's Day and we have St. Patrick himself, Kirk Patrick Plaisance here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We must have the luck of the
Patrick.
Oh my. Well, now that you have a quick lucky flyby of who we are, Paul, can you give us a quick overview of the production specs for Cocoon?
Sure.
Not
thing.
Cocoon, the return.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
All right. Pokemon, the movie,
What?
Deontay and the Cocoon of Destruction was released July 19th, 2014. It is not rated, but it runs an hour and 16 minutes long.
Paul?
Yes?
2014 is not 15 years old.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you stopped me before I got to all the Japanese names. All right. So which movie is this then?
It's just Cocoon by itself. That's it.
All right. I'll try it again, but
that could have been brought to my attention yesterday.
Go back. Okay. The Cocoon was released June 21st, 1985. Runs an hour and 57 minutes. Is rated PG-13. Yeah, I can see that. Is directed by Little Ronnie Howard, and after he was 13. It was written by Tom Benedict and David Sasperstein. Sorry, Tom and David, if I mispronounced your names, but here comes a bunch more. It's because the lead stars are being Don Amici, Wilford Brimley, Humi Creoni, Brian Dennehy, Steve Gutenbergy, and Jessica Taney. And the music was actually composed by.
It was not composed by the Araquan bird.
Otherwise known as James Horner.
Yeah, I'm sure he's called little Araquani to all his friends.
Yeah. All right, you ready for the box office trivia?
Sure, Paul, sure.
All right. Cocoon was made for about $17.5 million and earned over $76 million at the box office. So, given this fact, how high in the box office do you think it ranks among the movies released theatrically in 1985?
All
and
right.
we'll go for the top 50.
Top 50. All right. All right. I was like, okay, a top 100. We're going to say,
well, that's up to you to guess.
All right. Well, let's start with our guest, as we like to. Babo, what is your guess? And anyone live in chat is welcome to join as well.
Yeah, I recall, like, 1985, I wasn't aware of this movie being in the theater, given that I was, like, almost a year old. But I seem to remember this being a fairly popular movie, so I'm going to say 6.
Whoa, okay, 6? That's outstanding. I'm trying to think of a joke there, but Kirk, what's your guess?
Yeah, I think this movie did really well. I remember as a kid, I was more than one. I was, 7? So you said 6. I'll say 7. 6, 7.
Oh my gosh.
We were getting along so well before that.
I'm an elementary teacher. I hear it all day.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
My son is doing the motion as we speak.
Still?
Thanks,
That's
guys.
still a thing? How is that still a thing?
It's a million times still a thing.
A few more months. 6, maybe 7.
Then in chat we have let's see, D Tungsten guesses 27. I think that's much more realistic, D Tungsten. I myself am going to pick 49. 49.
All right.
Because of the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers, because this took place in San Francisco, right?
No, this took place in Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just in West
Jacksonville
Palm,
territory.
Jacksonville, something.
Oh. Of course. Yeah, I knew that.
I don't support ball.
It was our last film that was in San Francisco.
Yeah. Not our last ever, but our previous.
No, our last one was in New York, guys.
Oh. I was thinking Princess Diaries.
I know, but that was 2 episodes ago.
All right. So unfortunately, the -numbers.com is down for maintenance.
Oh, okay.
So we're going over to Box Office Mojo. And Bobo, you said number 6?
That's my lucky number.
Yes.
It's actually number 6. Good job.
What? Word.
I should have went first.
Good job, Bobo. That is impressive. That is very impressive, guys. Or Bobo, I should say. All right. Well, thank you for those factoids, Paul. And let's see if any of them factor into our memory mind mode or subsequent roundtable discussion, which we'll get into once Alice has located our target film.
Alert. Target located. Spoilers incoming. Establishing analysis vector.
We'll never be sick.
It is everything you've dreamed of.
We won't get any older.
It is nothing you expect.
And we won't ever die.
It is the mystery of an awesome secret. Cocoon. 20th Century Fox presents a fantasy to fill your heart. From the producers of Jaws and the director of Splash. Cocoon. Rated PG-13.
Yes, Cocoon, rated PG-13. But what do we remember encased in rocks of our brains? Well, because you don't want a smooth brain. You want it to be craggy, I think, right? I think that's how that goes, maybe.
Craggy Brain was my nickname in high school.
There you go. Let's find out in our memory and mind melt synopsis of Cocoon what we all remember collectively. Steve Gutenberg, fired from police academy, tired of being short-circuited by Johnny Five and fed up for not getting paid enough for babysitting with Roy and Sam Malone, is now working at a retirement home for Diabetes Brimley, Rose Nyland's father, Mortimer, and the old folks from Batteries Not Included, where he finds weird giant glowing walnuts at the bottom of their swimming pool. A woman his age pops out of one hole. The Quaker Oats guy and the rest of the old people feel amazing while swimming in the pool like they're eating ice cream and apple pie all the time. Then learn that they actually killed a bunch of aliens, but one of the aliens invites them to retire young glowing bodies in outer space in place of his dead friends. What a nice guy. And somehow there's a sequel. I mean, certainly, actually, a lot of that was correct. However, Steve Gutenberg was not working at the retirement home. He had his own boat. He was a captain. You know, him and I are simpatico. We're both captains. So And I'm sure he would give those memories a deception. And based on those memories, though, as flawed as they may have been, what rating did they lead you to predict for the film Cocoon before you rewatched it? Classic, nostalgic, or tragic? And when was the first time you remember seeing Cocoon? Let's start with Kirk this time.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this probably since the first year or so that it came out. It's probably like 1986 or 7, and that wasn't unintentional that time. But I felt it was a great movie, but since I hadn't watched it in so long, and I just couldn't remember it, my mind meld to you guys. I was thinking they actually got into the pods. I couldn't remember, and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go with nostalgic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to go, but before I watched it. So just couldn't put enough memories back together knowing it was a good movie, and felt that that's where I would best land.
Perfect. Bobo, how about you?
Yeah, similarly, it had been, I'm not sure how long since the first time I saw this, maybe 10 years ago, maybe not quite that far back. But and I remembered some of the actors I like, a couple of them from the Golden Girls doing guest spots. But I remember liking it, but I didn't remember how much, so I went with nostalgic as well.
Okay. That's very fair. Nostalgic as well. Paul, how about you?
Yeah.
So I think we recorded this off of HBO in the 80s or something.
Oh, wow.
And we watched it several times back then, enjoyed it. And it got a sequel, so it did well. But honestly, I haven't seen it since the 80s, and it's not streaming anywhere right now. And as of this recording, but the sequel is. But I think I think because it's not as accessible as it could be. I think it's not in people's minds. So I was giving it the benefit of the doubt and called it. I predicted a classic.
Oh wow, interesting. Classic from Paul. And did you say when you first saw it?
In the 80s.
In the 80s, okay.
And I haven't seen it since then, so that's like 40 years.
Yeah. For me, I had not seen this movie before. It's one of those where it was always one that I thought maybe I should see, but having seen Batteries Not Included, I'm like, I don't need to see more old people. I never was in any rush to see it. So I'm glad I got to experience it for the podcast.
So you hate Disney, you hate old people,
I don't hate old people en masse. There are some old people that are great. See, and I will point to another Ron Howard movie, Apollo 13, John Lovell's mom that gets wheeled in and she comforts the granddaughter and says,
that was your classic maker, right?
Don't worry, Jimmy. If they made a dishwasher that could fly, my Jimmy could that could go to space. My Jimmy could land it. I love that grandma. She's so great.
You want to send old people to space? We get it.
That's what this movie did. So lay out. Anyway,
really what's happening. So okay.
But I had read it. Yeah, tragic was my prediction for this. Wow. Because I had no interest
old
to see
people.
This.
Okay.
I don't hate old people.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Just some. Okay, let's. It'll be interesting to see if our predictions, though, come true. Maybe I'll end up loving it. Maybe Paul will end up hating it, and Kirk and Bobby will end up still in the middle. We'll see. But let's get first, though, before our ratings, let's talk about the things we liked most about Cocoon. Let's spin up our
Best bits.
Yes, our best bits are brought to you by none other than Paul J. Powers at pauljpowers.com.
Hello, folks. I just had to come on here and tell you how wonderful it is that this stream is sponsored by PaulJPowers.com. They also sponsored a UFO that I flew in a couple of times, and it took me all the way to the forest moon of Endor. Now, if they can only help me fight the thing, or even my diabetes. Oh, well, maybe Quaker Oats can help me.
Oh my god!
Next time I'm doing a podcast, I want to play that during a commercial break.
I just have to. That was magnificent. PaulJPowers.com.
Talk to PaulJPowers.com.
Yes.
Might be able to hook you up.
See, that's the kind of thing you get when PaulJPowers.com sponsors you.
We need a sponsorship of PaulJPowers.com over on our side.
Right. Jeez. All right. So, yes, our best bits sponsored by PaulJPowers.com. And let's begin those best bits with our guest, Kirk. Why don't you start us off with something you liked about Cocoon?
Well, this is actually in my notes here, Francisco, but I like old people. I mean,
And that's fine. I like some old people too.
Oh yeah, I like most old people. I used to actually work in a LTAC, which is long-term acute care, and I just love old people. Like I love the old humor, the dad jokes, the kind of the crassness between buddies that seem to be friends for quite some time. Just the idea of peeking behind the curtain of an old folks' home and seeing the silliness that they kind of have going on. I've always dug like Grumpy Old Men, or you know, those kind of movies. Kind of reminds me of my dad and his buds from back in the day. Which, shout out to my dad. It was his birthday yesterday. 85 he would have made.
Oh wow.
And you know, that's kind of when I watch these kind of movies, I think of, you know, simpler times, and I just think how funny that kind of stuff is. And you know,
yeah, definitely.
It's just it's worth relaxing and checking out. I just enjoy it.
Okay. So your first like was old people?
Yeah, well, technically in my notes, it says, I always love stories centered around older characters.
Oh,
like,
okay. Okay.
So yes, old people, Francisco. Get used to it.
I'm going to nuance my position just before all the geriatrics come after me with their pitchforks and
get off the lawn.
Yes, exactly.
And their teeth.
Their gums.
I very much enjoy getting to hang out with older people at my church or helping them. Like I helped this one sweet lady with her computer. She's trying to get set up for doing a Bible study online. That is great. I enjoy being around older people that are have a Christian center. That's not what was in this movie. We'll get there later. Okay. But that's a very fair like for you, Kirk. Bobo, what's the one thing you liked?
One thing that I liked, this was my number 4 thing, and I'm bumping it up.
Ooh, okay.
I like the cast of this movie a lot. Because
especially that young boy Bastion, right? He was great.
I swear, I thought he was going to say, "I like old people." I like the.
I got to jump on the bandwagon here. Yeah, I got to jump on the bandwagon and be like, Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
And
he was great.
Wilford Brimley apparently was only like 50.
Yeah, he wasn't really.
But they made him older,
which makes me feel old because I'm only 47. I'm like, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's crazy.
You look younger than Wilford Brimley did there.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, Don Amici and Hume Cronin and all the ladies, Maureen Singleton, I think, Jessica Tandy, and so on and so forth. I kind of like that we have a cast of primarily older people that are getting the chance to lead, and just it's not like we need one old person for this. It's actually centered around the retirement community, and I actually work in like assisted living and memory care, and I work around a lot of older folks too. So it was just nice to see. I don't know, something. I'm not phrasing it well, but I guess I just liked seeing seeing them instead of all these young hoodlums we have in movies nowadays. I guess that's what I'm saying.
It's a demographic often not featured.
Yeah, that's fair. I am curious though, Bobo or even Kirk, were you guys actually bummed that the Steve Guttenberg character wasn't an older person as well? Like, would you like to see that just all the way through?
Actually, no. I mean, I think, and especially the young boy, you have to have some kind of range. If I was disappointed with Steve Guttenberg was he tried to do a little bit more serious of a character than his coming off of Police Academy fame. You kind of wish it was he tried a few little moments throwing some stuff in, but he was kind of a non-character for me. He was just like, he was more assisting the older fellas, and I mean, I think it was well needed.
By the way, Police Academy 2 also came out in 1985, and it came in at number 11, so he beat himself on this one.
Really?
Nice.
Oh, that's crazy.
There you go. Yeah, I like that Guttenberg is kind of in that closer to the middle range there, and he's not an older person as well, because it would have felt a little more closed off to have virtually everybody be older.
Yeah.
So there's more interaction between the generations.
You seem to like old people, so I just
Guttenberg,
why? Yeah, I would have loved everyone to be old. So I'm just saying, I don't know.
Even the grandson.
Well, if Guttenberg did bum me out. He's not that old,
I don't think. Well, Denny's probably the same age as Walton Brimley in this movie. Yeah.
You know what? That actually brings up. That's a good segue into my first like, and that's actually Walter, who's played by Brian Dennehy. I think I often forget how much I like Brian Dennehy. I like him in Tom. I've only seen him in a few roles, but Tommy Boy, I like him as Big Man. Is it Big Man Callahan or something like that? And I really like him also in the 2 FX movies.
Yeah, I always loved him in FX.
Yeah, he's great in that. So, and I think a lot of people haven't seen those movies, but those are fun movies.
I only remember him from War Games, and that was his first role. It was very minor.
I remember him in a movie where he was was it Tommy Boy, where he was like the head of the union
that's who I referenced at first. Yes, Big Tom Callahan or Big Man Callahan, I forget exactly.
But he was like a head of the union or something, right?
No, he was the head of he owned.
No, the one I'm talking about, like he was the head of some kind of like. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Tommy Boy was released.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I really liked him. And I really loved that he was trying to do right by his comrades, like coming back 10,000 years later to rescue them and to make them whole and bring them back. I thought that was very admirable. And he was very kind to these humans that were draining the life essence from his comrades. And yeah, so I just appreciate that character and like Brian Dennehy in the role. So
you like the auto parts empire.
Just brake pads. Oh. It was the Dan Aykroyd character that had the empire that he just wanted the name.
Oh.
We really are covering Tommy Boy right now. Paul, what did you really like? What was one thing you liked about Cocoon?
I like the story, kind of intriguing. Mm-hmm. Aliens coming back and, featuring old people. So it's nice to
I have plenty of friends that are old people, guys. I don't hate old people.
Well, yeah, I'm one of them.
Wow.
It's good that you respect
call them old
your
people
elders.
To their face.
Oh my gosh. Let's go back to you, Baba. What's something else you like?
Yeah. One thing that usually I really dislike in a movie is where, and I'm not saying this had quite a false finish, but I feel like this movie could have stopped at about an hour and a half. The movie's about an hour 50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And right around like an hour 25, they're putting the pods back in the ocean. And if everybody had just kind of shook hands and like, oh, well, we'll be back in 10,000 more years or whatever, like it would have been an all right movie at that point. But then there's the part about, well, hey, we got room on the spaceship. We can take some of you guys with us. And it adds another half hour onto the movie. And I was actually cool with that.
Oh, I was going to say, we're in the like section, not the dislike section, Baba, but you like that.
And I was kind of confused.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, did we jump? Light speed.
Yeah, I did a little space jump thing. No, but I actually was okay with that element being added onto the story because it is an intriguing thought of like, if he could go to space and live forever, and even just going through space would have to be pretty incredible. But
yeah, absolutely.
I liked that whole part of the story as well being added on, and I didn't mind watching the movie for another half
Adds
hour.
more drama.
So, good job, movie.
Sure. Kirk, what would you say good job movie to about Cocoon?
Well, I would say I just really enjoyed the 80s charm to this thing. Just the cinematography of the aliens, the spaceship. It just kind of transcends right back to a time when I was younger. So like kind of just really felt like, it's just not overproduced with special effects, but just enough. And there was just, the whimsical jokes, just everything that kind of went down, and seeing some classic 80s characters, 80s people like, Gutenberg and Dennehy. And I just really enjoyed like kind of spending a little nostalgic time, which is what I said, but it did have that feel, that good 80s charm.
Yeah, and I'll bandwagon onto that. The visual effects in this I thought were great. ILM did a great job, especially for the time. I have no issues with it. Always, me and Paul, I think bring this up every time, but there's something about the way they animated lightning in the 80s that looks so much better than lightning of today. Even CG. There's something about this that's so nice.
I loved how it had a little comedy, a little tragedy, a little tearjerker, kind of moment, and then
it's got everything.
The whole family dynamic. It was well done.
Okay, nice.
There's fencing, giants,
revenge, escapes, true love. Is this a kissing book? Right. Paul, what would you have kissed about this movie?
The dolphins. I enjoyed watching the dolphins, and a lot of the underwater shots I thought were cool. You usually don't get to see that, and hopefully none of the dolphins were, mistreated during this time because back in that day it wasn't as strict as today. But it's unusual to see that much, and I enjoyed those shots.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One thing D. Tungsten said is a lot of times they use real lightning. I don't think it was real lightning though here. Maybe it was reference, but no, that's fair. I agree, Paul. The seeing live dolphins, seeing live animals in general is always cool when they're. I assume these were decently trained, and so it just adds a lot more believability to the film.
Yeah.
All right, but that leaves our classic makers. What really made us believe that these were real aliens and real old people, not just people in skin suits? Let's go to Paul first this time. What's your classic maker, Paul?
All right, my classic maker is old people, but it's really the cast. I really enjoyed watching the cast and everyone that we've all mentioned, and I'll even throw Barrett Oliver in there, the grandson David. It was great to see him in a role, and even Clint Howard's in there, which is always fun to watch to notice him.
Oh yeah.
So
I didn't notice him until he was punched out and on the floor. I'm like,
oh really?
I think that's Clint Howard.
Yep. Ronnie's brother. Yeah.
Wonder how we got that role.
Yeah. Nepotism. And apparently Ron Howard had his two parents, and I think maybe his wife, and also his brother in this. I'm like, why isn't your daughter in this? Oh, I don't think she was really born yet. Sorry, Bryce.
Mom actually got back into acting because of this movie.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So that is Paul's. Let's go to Kirk's next. What's your classic maker, Kirk?
Yeah, it kind of piggybacks on the idea that Brimley was really 50. I really loved the idea, or not the idea, but how they portrayed the youthfulness of the older. The jumping in the pool and the backflips, and then the kind of, Cronin punching that guy out, and just kind of without giving them like superpowers. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of leaned into this. They're getting a little bit more spry, and I just enjoyed that whole moment, seeing them kind of swim around and really kind of try and rewind that clock back a little bit. I did like just how they showed that off.
Dancing on the floor.
Fun.
How'd they do that?
Well, in my mind, I was like, man, I wonder if they really are jumping off those, doing backflips, or what kind of stuntman did they get to do that? You know, it's for some of those guys. You know,
it looked like it was them though. I mean,
it did look like it was them.
And everything.
So that's what made it look fun. But then when you think, oh, he's not really 85. He was only 50. I was like, well, that works out, you know?
Yeah.
So,
the others looked 85.
The other guys, though, yes. Yeah. But
or 90, yeah.
Wow. All right. So just the
just like the usefulness.
Yeah. Awesome. Baba, what was your classic maker?
I think basically it's the story as a whole. It's fairly simple, and it's talking about aliens coming to Earth and then, leaving people behind and then coming back to get them. It's not the simplest story. It's not a boy meets girl story. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, but there's that too.
They keep things, they keep things fairly simple, and they really let the actors drive the emotion. Like the script will take it so far, but the actors really, I think, took it up several more notches. Thinking in particular of Brian Dennehy with the when he opens up one of the cocoons and sees one of his friends dying in there, and he sheds a tear, and I mean that's a heartbreaking moment. And there's, as was said earlier, like there's a little bit of comedy and drama and tragedy and all of this sort of stuff, and it's the actors doing a great job, and it's a very good story that allows them to do so. It's not trying to do too much on its own, and that's it. I'm done talking now.
No, well, I'll agree. I think it could have been a much just more muted a movie if it were not for the way the actors portrayed everything, and because the script is simplistic. I wouldn't say it's necessarily simple, but there's a simplicity to it that's not bad at all. I think that
the movie muted, like you can't hear the silent film.
No, like
you need a hearing aid
because I'm old.
Alma, check your battery.
No, in terms of like it could have been more of a like the experience could have been more muted. Like that's almost like it's a Hallmark movie or a made-for-TV movie. It's just like it's not. It doesn't have the emotional or the visual or emotional visual investment that you get in a lot of actual like cinema.
But this movie does.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it could have been more muted, except because the story is so simplistic. Except the characters really bring. I think because of that simplicity.
I thought you were saying it was a diss against it because it should have been more muted.
Who needs to check their batteries?
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I was distracted by Bobo's hat. Sorry. Who will save Generation X podcast? Go check it out.
Exactly. Yes, it is a sweet hat. I was just trying to say that I think because of the simplicity of it, it gave more. It allowed the performances and whatnot to shine all the more because they had. I mean, I find when you have constrictions or boundaries. Creativity can generate even more. I'm not articulating this very well, but there's more creativity when there's more constriction on that creativity as opposed to, you can do anything you want. Then it's harder to actually find cool solutions to the problem that you're trying to do.
Would you say it had a plethora of constrictions?
Sure, we'll say that.
Plethora.
Speaking of constrictions. The thing that was my classic maker was actually Bernie. His character,
the guy that didn't go.
The guy that didn't go because he actually had the best wisdom of all these people.
Interesting.
Get to that more in a little bit. But But now that you know the things we liked most about Cocoon, let's talk about some of the things you may not know about this film. Let's get to some trivia about Cocoon. And today's trivia about the movie is brought to you by The Rushmore Show. The Rushmore Show is a place for ranking the ultimate top 4 in sports, video games, nostalgia, movies, and so much more. Each week, Andy and Kirk, you're right here, spark engaging discussions and friendly debates, making The Rushmore Show your compass in the realm of pop culture rankings. Find them at youtube.com/The Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4 and nothing more.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Rushmore
Show. Oh, my word. And thanks to the Rushmore Show, did you all realize Wilford Brimley, and we sort of touched on this, but Wilford Brimley was only 49 years old at the time of the film's production. He was 50 when it was released. He had to have his hair dyed gray in order to make him look geriatric. So with that in mind, if you guys were going to be cast in a movie or TV show, do you think you would be more believable playing someone 20 years younger or 20 years older? And how do you think that might be accomplished? Like, would you just dye something? Would you just put on makeup? Would you shave?
CGI, man, CGI.
Without CGI.
Oh, practical effects.
Yes, practical effects. Paul, how about you?
Got to go older then if there's
older?
No,
Okay. Well,
yeah. I don't know how to make myself
young. I will say I've got to go younger, and I would just shave.
That would work.
Yep.
As a teacher, many of the kids always try and guess my age, and they say like 90. So,
gosh.
Yeah. So if I just shave,
wow.
I'm good.
Oh my, Bobo, how about you?
I think most people who've met me would say you should you'd be younger, man, because immaturity keeps me young.
There you go.
All right, very good. Fair. So 1 older and 2 younger. Nice.
What about you?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of in the Kirk camp. If I shave this and I put on a cap like Bobo, I cut like 20 years off my age.
Yeah, but if you grow it out more, you could go ahead like 30 years.
So you're saying I could go either way. Thanks, PaulJPowers.com.
Great trivia, Francisco.
Just embrace it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
You're right at that age where it could go either way. That's a gift.
I'm not delusional, Ashley.
Now that we've all had some delusional trivial fun, let's find out what memories you, the Rad Rewinders, had about Cocoon.
All right.
We'll Save Generation X says, I've never seen Cocoon. When I told my wife that you were going to have this one on your show, we got into a big fight about it.
Oh, no.
I said I've never seen it because it looked like it was about a bunch of old people doing cannonballs into a community pool. Was I wrong?
Nope. You were exactly right.
Not really.
So you can tell Suzanne she was wrong. You had the right idea. Actually, that's unfair. That's unfair. Wait until the final rain to make your decision. But then from FireJoyStudios.com, Gaiden starts us off by saying, exclamation point first, which is a joke to those that watch the streams. First time watching this, and it was a struggle to watch. Not really in the movie sense, but more like you can't find this on any streaming service anywhere.
Yeah.
But I found my way. And this movie was quite interesting. I only seen I've only seen 2 of the actors in anything really. The peeping Tom from 3 Men and a Baby, Jack, and the Antarian leader who later played in The Next 3 Days, Walter. After finishing the movie, this really got me thinking about how humans can be so selfish. They took advantage of Walter's kindness. The 3 old Keeters, I guess, get caught using the pool with the cocoons, but Walter allows them to use it. They then bring their wives, and soon the secret gets out. Team retirees head to the pool and use up all the energy that the cocoons needed for their trip back home. Mission failed.
All right. Gaiden apparently has more to say. So here's part 2. After bringing back the cocoons to the ocean, man, we're going through the whole movie here. This is what he remembers? Man, he has a good memory. Walter offers them to go to his home where they will never grow old or die since there's space available. Well, yeah, there's tons. Just look up. Again, thanks a lot, old geezers. But it
Space
speaks
in the spaceship, Paul.
Well, need to be more clear next time, maybe.
Oh my.
Anyway, Gaiden goes on to say, again, thanks a lot, old geezers. But it speaks more about who the Antarians are. They're just kind. Meanwhile, Grandpa Selfish tells his I have no friends grandson that him and Grandma are going to leave you and your mom. A life already filled with love, yet they want more. Kind of ruins what life means. What a tragedy. But my headcanon is that Walter wants to bring them back to Antaria so he can teach retirees a lesson and either beat them up or enslave them for eternity for messing up their mission. Devil's smile. How's that for a plot twist? I can't wait to watch the sequel. #classic.
All right.
But it got me thinking.
That does sound good.
After living a full life, would any of y'all go to another world where you can live forever?
Yeah, and we're actually going to answer that question on our spiritual speculation. So if you're a fire guard or fire knight, we will discuss that when we get there. But then from Facebook, Jeremy Shields says, I think I remember the sequel a bit more. Glowing aliens as a metaphor for going to heaven, as they take the elderly away where they can live like young people forever.
And Jeff Eames says, great movie. Interesting concept about the Fountain of Youth. The beings looked cool, and it got me wondering if you would stay or go at the end.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing those memories. And it seemed like most of you tended to like Cocoon, but there's probably going to be some things we didn't like so much about this film. So let's get into our
Worst woes.
And our worst woes of Cocoon are sponsored by the little Funyun himself, the what is it? The Fire Onion, that mascot of FireJoyStudios.com. It's a great little mascot at FireJoyStudio.com that you can find a little fire guy, but you can also join our Discord community at FireJoyStudios.com/Discord. Thanks, little Funyun guy, for sponsoring our worst woes.
That is all true, except it's not an onion. It's not a Funyun. It's a fireball, like the Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I wonder if you can get Billy Crystal to voice him. That'd be cool.
Ooh, that would be cool. Okay, let's get into our dislikes, guys. Our worst woes. And I'm going to start the party, because I'm the party pooper, with one of my dislikes. And that's, I guess it's weird that Jack, I guess I'm going to call it Jack and Kitty's nomance, because they don't.
Just at the end.
But so what's it like? They're
like
she's
your
a
dog. It's different species.
Yeah, it's a different species. She doesn't look like that for real. She's actually this light being. She just has this costume on. Yeah. And so it's like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it would actually work out. And then I mean, I get him being attracted to her, of course, before he knows. That totally makes sense. But then after he sees she's an alien, why? And even after the whole like pool thing with the energy beam and stuff, it just seemed really odd and didn't seem at all. It seemed much more like a platonic thing than a romantic thing. So I didn't get the kiss at the end. I didn't get that. He said, if you're in town, look me up. It just didn't make sense to me. It fell flat for me, I'll say. It was
clearly written by humans and not by aliens.
Yeah, clearly. See, Bobo gets it.
No, I fell for it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
What I didn't fall for was the like, oh, can you keep your skin on? And it was like, but you said you wanted to like connect with her.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Like, oh, you want to connect with the skin. Oh, I see what it is. It's not the alien. It's the like rubber doll. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like he's not Sideshow Bill. What's the guy's name?
Bob.
Sideshow Bob?
No, not Simpsons. This is Silence of the Lambs. Puts the lotion on his skin. Buffalo Bill. That's it. Thank you. Yes, Buffalo Bill. That's what it felt like. Yes, exactly.
Wow,
So,
we went real dark there. Okay.
like chocolate milk.
That took a turn for the worst.
Yeah.
Was that your actual dislike, Paul, or did you have something else?
No, I was just agreeing with part of it. With
Okay.
yours.
Then what's your actual dislike?
I'm gonna play the prude card and say some of the language in this.
It's so crass.
And I think they could have, and this is just me going like, they could have reworded it and used more family friendly language and still like hinted at what they're talking about. And it would have been more enjoyable for the entire family. Give it a PG rating, and you could have like maybe got more.
Yeah.
Whoa. Let's not go too far. More enjoyable for the entire family. Maybe if there's not Francisco in your family. Let's.
I said more enjoyable, not
more. Oh, more. I see. Okay.
Right.
Kirk.
I have to jump in. That's exactly. I'll play the prude card too.
Okay,
that was my number one kind of dislike. The language. Obviously it's the 80s, but I forgot. I haven't seen this movie in so long, and so while I was watching it, my kid's bebopping around, and he's like, "Dad, what are you watching?" And
yeah.
I was like, "Dang, I didn't real." You kind of. What it didn't add to the script, I thought. I didn't think it added any like, oh man, now I understand. Like when those intentional curse words, especially since there was only probably about 10 or so. You could have, like I guess Paul said, changed the words, made it a little simpler, like an old man being silly with his grandson type thing. But it just felt unnecessary, and it made it a little bit more highlighted for me, seeing my 10-year-old kind of look at me like, "What are you watching, Dad?" Yeah. And I was like, I was like watching it on my phone, so he couldn't actually like see it on the TV.
Oh,
okay. Like, but anyway, so it highlighted it even more for me.
Yeah.
Come here, son. This is how you get away with being a peeping Tom. You get yourself a boat.
No, and I mean, I am fine with language like that, and like you got a great police drama or a war movie, or I mean, there are movies
didn't feel
where
like it needed to be in this movie.
Exactly, yeah, and not that it needs to be in those movies, but it feels more appropriate for those types of movies.
Well, there are cranky old people that use that language. I'm just saying this could have been more family friendly and more.
No, I get that.
I mean, it felt like a family-friendly movie for.
It did.
I was going for that feel for sure.
Yeah, about an hour and a half of it, it was family-friendly.
Yeah, it's the different tones in it
that you're like a little cringe.
Yeah. I think
Baba,
you nailed it there.
Baba, what was a little cringe about Cocoon for you?
Well, the language, I guess, didn't bother. It kind of washed over me because I'm probably just used to old people swearing at me a lot. But
right.
My first dislike is a little lighter because about an hour into the movie, I mean, it's a 1980s movie, so we had to have a montage, and that's fine.
I
hated the song that they used.
Oh yeah. I thought
I don't
it was
even remember
great.
what was going on because
all the old people jumping in the montage, like
that song was fine.
Oh,
but the other one that was like a mid 80s pop song.
Yeah.
I can't even remember how it goes exactly.
Yeah,
yeah, and I didn't think the song fit the movie at all.
Yeah.
I didn't think it fit the mood. It just felt like they got some kind of a sweet deal to put that song in the movie.
Yep.
So they just crowbarred it in there. And
it also sounded like it was free.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So that's my dislike.
No, that's similar to my next dislike, and that's like I don't get why they should really pay for two different older people for some roles, not cast the same person to play two different roles. Like the having I think what's his name? Hume? Was that his name?
Hume Cronin.
Hume Cronin. Him play both Art and Joe is very confusing for me. I don't know why they did
Don
that.
Michi and Hume Crone.
Yeah, they're the same person, guys. They're the same person. They should just hire different people. There are other older people. Get John Wayne. Get John Palance. There's other old people.
Compared to
Wilford Brimley?
Yes. Sorry. I always want to call him Walter, but it's Wilford Brimley. Compared to him, they are like a skinny type, but their face is completely different.
Okay, so you know that opening scene where they're walking to the pool for the first time? So the taller one, when Hume Crone is taller, and him and Wilford Brimley are walking, he has one shirt. He flirts with the dance instructor, like, "Oh, we need some real men. Oh, let me know when you find them," or something like that.
Right.
Then they walk out, and it cuts, and then he's in a different shirt. And I'm like, "Wait, what? Why are we in the next day? Why are you in a different shirt?" And then I know
Francisco. All old people look the same to you. I know. Why do you hate him so much?
I just named several other old people that do not look like that. So you can't use that argument, okay?
They have the same similar build.
They are the same person. Why are you confusing me, movie? Okay. Anyway, I know they're not actually the same person. I'm playing that up for the fun, guys. Send your angry emails to paulgpirates.com.
It's obvious that Hume Crone wanted to get paid twice. So
Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. No, that's a good point. Yeah. So, okay. All right. My silly dislike aside, let's go back to Kirk. What's something else you disliked?
We've kind of already mentioned it a couple times, and this is kind of outside of the movie, but I went on about a 2.5-3 hour run trying to find this movie and learned all about why it was missing and how Ron Howard lost the rights and all these different things here and there. And I even tried like finding places that I could download it tongue in cheek, and it just wouldn't happen. And I just so happened to land on a spot, and I was like, "Oh, this is it," because there was the first one that I found, or we found. Well, it said it was Cocoon, but it was really Cocoon 2. And I got like 20 minutes into it because they have all these like commercials beforehand. I'm kind of fast forward, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not even the right movie. But just the fact that it's 2026, we can stream nearly anything, and it is just so hard to find.
I had to get the copy of Blu-ray from Germany.
It's just, and the one that I found actually it was labeled in a different language, and I was like, man, I swear, if this is subtitled, I'm going to lose it. And it wasn't, so thank goodness. I watched it, thank goodness. But just the idea of this whole everything going to digital, and the idea that we are going to lose some of the history of games and all of that is depressing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Great. That's a great insight, Kurt. I didn't think about that at all, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Paul, what depressed you about this film?
It depressed me that some of the effects were actually one of your likes, because it was some of my dislikes.
All right,
I did like the lightning.
Ooh, okay.
But I was shocked when I found out it was ILM, because honestly, I know it's the mid 80s. I was hoping for a little better. Some of it's fine.
You thought they could have done better makeup to make Art home croon guy look different in both roles?
Don Demichi, yeah.
He has a name, Francisco.
These
old guy 1 and old guy 2.
So interesting enough, Paul, are you talking about maybe the aliens and the that kind of stuff?
So I thought the aliens were fine. I thought they were actually good for the mid 80s, but having them fly over the way they did, like over the pool in the air, just like took me. It
kind of looked very theater-ish, huh?
Yeah, and it was like,
good
look,
call,
it doesn't look right, or however you're doing it. So maybe just nix the idea of them being able to fly.
Yeah,
and
I think just just floating on the ground would have been enough. You don't need to, have them fly.
Yeah, and then later during like the storm, and then like the fog rolls in, and like that is not transparent fog. That is 3D gray bubbles going across the sea there. And some of the effects don't hold up, and it took me out of it.
Yeah.
So some of the effects are great, like with the light shining out from the alien as they reveal the skin. Great. Mm-hmm. Alien design, great. The alien UFO design, not good, because they ripped it right off of Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters. It's the same ship.
Oh,
at least it looked like it did.
Oh, but I was going to say it looked good.
How about the luggage of skin they just threw into the corner?
Yeah, that
was so weird to me. It's like
I thought I was like, okay, that's good, and that's practical effect that I thought worked well.
Here's the thing: their eye sockets were cut out in those skin suits, but when they take off the skin,
point.
Their eyes are they're not human eyes.
Yeah.
They don't look like ours, so I don't get.
All right. Well, thank you for joining my side. Yes.
Of course. No problem.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yes.
Exactly. Babo, what was the darkest side of this film for you? What was your tragic maker for Cocoon?
I just thought I'd mention too this the 58th annual Oscar ceremony in 1986. This movie won Best Visual Effects.
Take that, Paul. Take that, ILM. I'm just saying,
putting that out there.
As someone from 2026 that sits down and watches this, it takes me out.
Okay.
That's just a fair warning to people who might want to give this a watch.
Okay, very fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that too in a little bit. But first, there were some little micro things that were kind of bothering me. That when you like a movie, they don't generally bother you too much. When you're not enjoying the movie, they can really they're like paper cuts, and they just drive you nuts. Like. The one thing was the employees, they seem to have the same two people on staff 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
Always working. Like breakfast and lunch. And when all the old people leave in the middle of the night or whatever, like they're always on duty.
Yeah.
There was
Howard gets paid between the Ron Howard movies.
Yeah, there's when the crew realizes that Brian Dennehy's character is coming back to the pool, and they got to get out really quick and go hide.
Baba, what Brian Dennehy is they were actually two different characters, like the old guys.
Oh yeah, that's it.
They were just on different shifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
okay. So you had multiple Clint Howards, which actually sounds like a great movie idea. Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
But when everybody's getting out of the pool because they realize Brian Dennehy's coming and they're hiding, and Dennehy comes in and the pool is like motionless.
Yes, I noticed
like,
that too.
There weren't a bunch of people.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I noticed them looking through the blinds. I'm like, shut the blinds. Like, why are you looking?
Like, one of the things I noticed there is in the past when they were kind of swimming, Dennehy didn't like run up to find them. But for that time, it was like an emergency. Let me get in there and see what was going on. Like, you can see him this time, but not any of the other times that they were swimming.
Yeah. It's kind of silly. But continue, Baba.
And the last one I've got noted here is towards the end when Dennehy's giving Gutenberg a large sum of money. He says, "Here, young man, have this large sum of money. This will pay for the boat." Where is he getting the money from?
Yeah.
He doesn't have any job that I'm aware of. If there was some mention of it, I missed it.
I wanted to know how he knew to talk to Earthlings, like in the U.S. Like the proper thing to deter people is say, "I'm going to call the cops," and like he knew as an alien, he knew all these steps, what to take, and like how did he know that? Probably the same place he got his money. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
so take on faith.
Yeah, and it didn't to bring Dan Aykroyd up for almost no reason. That's one thing his scripts get some flack for is he tends to over-explain things a little bit. He wants you to know where certain things come from before it happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like it wouldn't have been bad if he got a little pass at this script just to put little notes in to explain a few of those things.
Yeah.
might not have been the worst thing, but yeah, that was one. Well, several little things that were irritating me during the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get. And so those collectively were your tragic maker. I just want to make sure I understood. Okay.
Those are collectively my second dislike.
Oh, I could have sworn I got your second dislike already. I'm sorry. Okay, then go to your tragic maker, Bobo. I'm sorry.
Keep going. You're doing great.
I'd be happy to go to my tragic maker because it was kind of touched on already, and it had to do with the visual effects, specifically when they throw their fake skins into the trunk.
Yeah.
I thought those looked awful.
Yeah.
I thought those would look like the cheapest skin. If that kind of skin was on a food I was about to eat, I would send it back and be like, "You served me rubber chicken. What is this?"
Exactly.
I thought those looked terrible.
Oh.
So that actually briefly pulled me out of the movie because it was just like, especially again with other things where we saw them opening, the back of the head and pulling the eye down.
I kind of felt like
that
those
doesn't match
skins
up.
when they threw them in. That's why I mentioned it. They looked extremely thick. Like if they were wearing those, they looked like the skin of that on top of their body.
Yeah,
but they would have been massively large. Like they just looked very bulky and cumbersome. Not something that was kind of
almost like you'd be like stiffly walking if you were in them or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But all right. So anything else? Any of the other effects, Bob, or is that the main one?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Bob. Sorry again for missing your second dislike, but thank you for giving us your tragic maker. Let's go to Kirk next. What's your tragic maker for Cocoon? Or did I miss your dislike too?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
We actually already talked about my tragic maker as well.
Oh, okay. So what's another dislike then?
I can't believe it's not everybody's. The whole Nomance whatever scene is just ridiculous.
Yes. Thank you.
It's not the fact that they are attracted to each other.
Yeah.
But the idea that he realizes, obviously, like you mentioned, it's an alien, and we're still trying to he was kind of making the tongue-in-cheek joke like, well, how do you and how do we, and you want to show me how? And then when it happened, and it was like you let like some cartoon character out of the bag, and it's
yeah, it's so strange.
And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, if we're on your planet, is this what happens every time? Like, is it just randomly just bounce around? What is happening?
Part of the foreplay
thing, or is it just because you're doing it with a human? Like, I don't know. It was just awkward. And then what I learned was this is a huge liberty that Ron Howard took, and it's not, none of that is in the original book. And it's like, why did you think that had to be added? Going back to the language and everything else, that just, again, took us to a place that I felt we didn't need to be.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I have no idea. That's okay.
Man, making me rethink my final rating with all these.
Okay. Well, why? Maybe you'll make us rethink ours with yours, Paul. What's your tragic maker?
For some weird reason, I stopped right at the 1 hour mark as Bobo did. It just happened to go to the bathroom or something. But I was shocked. It was an hour, and the movie was only halfway over. It felt like okay, this movie's going to end really soon. And
I had this exact same experience. Continue.
It's just so slow. Now I understand it's the 80s, but a few years before this was Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that thing moves, boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
So. Sorry, Ronnie. Let's pick up the pace. Let's pick up the momentum here. Let's build some, because it's just a slog fest. And now I understand old people are slow, but the movie doesn't have to be.
Fair. I think he maybe learned some lessons or whatnot, because I from what I remember, it's been a while, certainly since we've covered Willow or I've seen it. But by the time he gets to Willow, I feel like he has a much better sense of pacing well. But
George Lucas was helping with that. Maybe one of their editors helped with that.
That makes sense. Yes. Okay, I've forgotten about that. But
Star Wars moves.
All right, guys. Well, that leaves my tragic maker. Okay, I'm going to read this paragraph I have here.
Dramatic reading by
popcorn.
Francisco Ruiz.
Once upon a time. No,
Oh no, here we go. Slow and boring.
wow. I will say, now I didn't write this down for a like list so much, but I really
dislike?
enjoyed Wilford. What was that, Paul?
Are you reading your dislike? This is your tragic maker?
Yes, this is my tragic maker. This is set up for my tragic maker.
Oh, yes. So you're using likes as your
setting
dislikes.
us up. All right.
I really did enjoy Wilford Brimley as Ben in this character, this old character. I liked watching him the most of any of the old actors, even though he wasn't really old. Maybe that's why I liked watching him the most. I don't know. I just really liked him. But that made the choices he made all the more wrathful on my part. It's like you have someone that you love them dearly, and you see them make this horrible decision, and it's like, what is wrong with you? You're so much better than this. So that's like it for me. So, and this is not with Wilford Brimley, but more the character of Ben. So he's talking the whole choice of him to tell his grandson, who doesn't have a father figure in his life. I forget if they said he was divorced or his dad died, but his grandpa is like, you can see he looks up to his grandpa so much and cares about him so much. And for his grandpa to be like, you know what? I know, I'm going to go somewhere where I'm never going to see you again. You're never going to see me, but it's good for me. It's good for your grandma. Just don't tell anyone. It's going to be sad to leave, but and he doesn't say it in this cavalier way, but how could it not come across like that to any kid that you look up to this person and they're like, you're not worth being here anymore for. I'm sorry.
Wow. I didn't take it like that.
I care more about myself and my wife and living forever than pouring into you, the next generation at all. Sorry. So I'm going to peace out. Good luck with all your trauma of divorce or death of a father figure. Bye. It was.
Wowzers.
It got under my skin so badly, so much. I hated it so much. And so this character I loved, I hated all the more because of that. It's like how the mighty have fallen. So that's my tragic maker for this film. So now that we've entered all our trajectories into the firing computer, Alice, do you have a firing solution for us?
Firing solution complete. Rating salvo armed and ready to fire on your mark.
Yes, salvo authority.
So, oh my god. Oh my gosh, Bob. No, never mind. That's my tragic maker. Your salvo authority poster. Oh my.
No justice for salvo authority.
Oh my gosh. All right,
salvo
guys.
Old people.
Do we rate, it's time for the moment of truth, do we rate Cocoon a classic? If you've never seen it before, then definitely seek it out. Not to mention a rewatch is totally worth your time. Do we rate it nostalgic? If you've enjoyed it before, then you'll enjoy it again if you're in the mood for, sci-fi drama. But if you've never seen it before, watch it, once for the memes, maybe on 2x speed. Knowing that you could end up really liking it or really loathing it. It's sort of like a coin toss there.
2x speed might be interesting.
Or do we rate it a tragic? If you've never seen it before, keep it that way. And if you have seen it before, don't sully any good memories you have of it with a rewatch. So we'll start with our guests as we like to. Bobo, you had predicted nostalgic. What was your final rating for Cocoon?
Well, if you watch it at 2x speed, someone's going to break a hip.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh, no.
I'm a softie. I bumped it up to classic.
Oh, wow.
I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
All in all, I enjoyed the movie. It is on the lower end of classic, but I think it presents again an interesting enough story that I think it's worth watching and considering the message it's bringing, as we will during the spiritual speculation portion of the program.
Indeed.
The things that I mentioned that I didn't like didn't irritate me enough
But the paper
to
cuts.
dissuade me from that.
The paper cuts, Baba.
Yeah, the paper cuts. I just kept my keep my hands away from the sharp objects, I guess, and
that works. All right, very good.
So yeah, and it is a little bit on the slow side, but it's an hour 50. It was keeping my attention pretty well.
All right,
so
very fair. So classic for Bobo. Kirk, you likewise had predicted nostalgic. Where did it end up for you?
Yeah, nostalgic is what I started, but I'm a softie as well. I mean, I just love the 80s, and I loved going back, and I'm going classic. I can't wait to watch it.
Wow.
And matter of fact, I was like, man, I got to go watch Cocoon 2 now that I know where to get it.
Oh, really? Wow, okay.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things, and all the negativity aside, I'm
don't leave it aside. Embrace the negativity.
I'm easily entertained, and this is definitely entertaining. But you guys mentioned how long it was. I felt maybe because of the way I watched it. I watched it on my phone. I was a little preoccupied doing some other things. Had it in the background. I wasn't just like zoned in. I felt like, I didn't even realize it was 2 hours. So. I guess if I would have sat popcorn in hand minute by minute, but it was a good movie. I liked it.
So what's interesting, after you said that, Kirk, Ashley on Twitch said the first one is a bit better than the second one, and then on Substack, D-Tongue says Cocoon 2 is not as good. So they both are in agreement that you might be saying your expectations a little high for Cocoon 2.
and fine, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yep.
But I do know that diabetes comes back. So maybe because I watched the first 5 minutes of it. There you go. Maybe he redeems himself there, Francisco.
I doubt it. All right. Before we get to, so we have 2 classics so far. Before we get to me and Paul's reign, we go to our Fire Guard, you guys that support the podcast and shows and Firejoy Studios endeavors. Thank you so much. And you collectively rated Cocoon a classic as well. I don't know what to say.
All right, Francisco, let's go home. There's no point in you and I being in here. It's classic.
We could do that, but then we would deprive our listeners of our opinions, which I'm sure they love so much.
344 times.
Never controversial.
Paul.
Yes.
What is you had predicted classic?
Yes.
Did it say classic for you with everyone else or no?
Not.
Okay.
Before rewatching this, if anybody had asked me, my family's going to watch Cocoon, is that something that you'd recommend? I'd be like, yeah. After watching it, I'm going to bump it down to nostalgic.
Okay.
If you enjoyed it before, you'll probably enjoy it. But if you haven't seen it, like, you're not missing much. There's other things that you could be out there that's out there that you can watch that's better. But like Kirk, I'm really interested in watching Diabetes 2. I mean, Cocoon 2. Because just after watching these characters, I'm curious where they take the story from here. Because I haven't seen that since the late 80s, early 90s.
I don't know that I've ever seen the second one. But
okay.
I have.
You have. And what was your opinion on it, Baba?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought you said you had. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that leaves me. I had predicted tragic. And I'm sure you guys could not guess that I continue to rate it tragic. Now, I will say,
#shocker. Not.
if Ben, Wilford Brimley's character, and his wife had decided to stay.
Yeah.
This is why I like Bernie so much. He decided, you know what? Bernie, he had every reason to go. His wife had already died. He had no one to leave behind. So why not go? But Ben, who had this son and still daughter that he could have still poured into for the rest of his life, to just leave them behind.
They were going to die in a few years anyway.
It doesn't matter. You have
he can dream.
All these moments are precious. All this time you have is precious.
Is it though?
Yes, it is. especially when you're as connected like that as they were for grandfather and grandson. To just cast that off like he did. If that hadn't happened, if they had chosen to stay, this would have been a nostalgic for me very easily. But that just irked me so much, and just was such blatant selfishness that I could not stand for it. So tragic for me for Cocoon. But according to the Retro Rewind podcast, we collectively rate Cocoon a disputed classic film. So we recommend anyone go see this, whether or not you've seen it before. No, not yet. No, yeah. Maybe a yay. Something like that for disputed classic. But regardless, though, it's time to get back to our own time. Good old 20XX.
20XX?
ComSat Online. Awaiting incoming transmissions.
Feels good to be back, but we wouldn't have been able to travel back to 1985 to begin with if it weren't for our amazing Fire Guard. First, our Fire Knights, Deborah Powers, Dustin, He's a Big Deal Warford, Kennethan, and Flux, and our Fire Guards, Ashley Ruiz, Brian Scott, Dale 71129, Daryl Hafner, Drew of the Cellcash, D Tungsten, Fabulous Lomax, Geek Devotions, Gaiden, Mary Kay Cronenbitter, Cool Deluxe, Redeemed Otaku, Ryan Frosted, and That's Our Bob. Oh, you're right here! Woohoo! In addition to one other awesome patron as well, thank you all so much for keeping the gigawatts coming. And if you want to help keep us flying and get bonus content for your generosity, head over to firejoystudios.com/support to start.
That's where the fire onion is, right?
Nani?
Francisco,
yes.
Are there any sorry, I was trying to figure out how to insert Nani in there, but I can't figure it out. Nani complimentary ways to show some. Sorry, it's Japanese for what, Nani?
Yeah, I know.
No, but for listeners who don't know, but Francisco, are there any complimentary? Let's go for dramatic reading. Are there any complimentary ways to show some support?
Well, you know what, Captain Kirk? Yes, you can always compliment us with a 5-star review on your preferred podcast player. Or better yet, you likely enjoyed this episode if you made it this far. So if you aren't driving, tap the share icon in your podcast player for this episode and send it to a friend saying, I know you like Cocoon, or maybe you know a friend that hated Cocoon and, hey, this guy agrees with you. So here's a podcast on it, and I'm sure they will thank you for sending that to them.
Or if you're thinking about watching it and can't find it anywhere and you're debating, should I spend $20 for a Blu-ray from Europe? Maybe listen to this episode first and we can help persuade you one way or the other.
Very, very well put, Paul.
Yeah. And we like to thank our guest hosts for taking the time for finding the movie, watching it, and then reviewing it with us. And we want to give a big space hug to our guests for sharing their thoughts and supporting us with our review about Cocoon. So since we like to go with in alphabetical order, start with David Bobbo Bobke. We'll start with B's Bobo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, I didn't know you were coming apart.
Yes.
I have nothing to plug, but I'm so happy Kirk was here. I would like to cede my time to Kirk.
Well, moving right along to Kirk. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your thoughts as well.
Hey, thanks for having me. We are the Rushmore Show, and you can find us every Thursday night live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and hopefully in a convention near you.
I'm so glad you're not dead. You're live.
What?
Good. You said we can catch him live.
Oh.
Yes.
Gosh. I'm a little slow on the uptake.
Slow there, Grandpa? You okay?
Oh my God.
Did you have your pudding?
He needs to jump in the pool.
Francisco obviously decided to stay behind and not venture forth in his youth.
That's right. I did. Took the Bernie.
The little cup with your meds in?
Metamucil?
I was going to say thank you to Bobo and Kirk, but now I'm not so sure. No, but thank you again so much, Bobo, Kirk, my Anatarian friend Paul, the artist Alutric for enhancing our music, and all you rewinders, new and old, for another fun voyage.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
And as the alien Brian Dennehy just said, we are now part of the Culture Box Media Network. Find all the shows unpacking truth through story, comedy, and geekery at culturebox.media.
Thank you, EXO, and thank you for listening. We pray you are more joyful today than when you first hit play. But like a Pokemon, we gotta catch you all for The Last Samurai, our next adventure on the Retro Rewind podcast.
Retro Rewind mission complete. Proceed to base to await next mission.
Go.
Okay. I'm gonna miss you, Kitty. I'm really gonna miss you. May the Force be with you!
Notice how she didn't say she'd miss him.
Dun, 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 dun. That's aliens.